Hi, Amy. How you doing? Okay, hey, listen. The first thing I want to say is thank you. You've been right on top of things since day one. I mean, your submissions are always early and they're always quality. You're not rushing things. You're taking your time. Your writing isn't rushed. You're taking your time. You're really trying to create some good, solid rationale behind your writing, explaining things appropriately. In that regard, I think that your grade clearly reflects what you've been doing in the class. And congratulations, by the way, on your grade. You're just doing fantastic. So really, really kudos to you. Good job. You're a pleasure to have in class. Okay, let's take a look. Attached are my thumbnails, sketches, monograms. And this is great. I read your written rationale right here. And, I think you kind of got the idea. It's about, monogram's a little bit different. You still can communicate with using initials only based on the specific typeface that you use. And that, that much, it's not as easy to encode a monogram as it is to encode a logo or a word mark for that matter. But that said, I think you've done some really interesting things here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the work. I think they're all interesting. I really do. I think these two are really kind of similar. A couple of them are pretty similar, but nonetheless, you have encoded actually, and it's really, really interesting what you've done. I think this is super interesting because basically what you have the word security, or what would stand for the word security, S, Guardian Network Security. Each one is nested in the last, so the word security has a double wall of security around it, the N and the G. So that is good encoding. I think it's really smart, and I'm impressed. The same can be said over here, not to the same degree. But I think this is really, I think is your winner right here. I think this is really super interesting. Pretty generic here, pretty generic. And then here you're definitely getting kind of like this kind of digital feel. You mentioned the wires, which would indicate kind of an older analog type thing. Not necessarily though, but I'm definitely getting a digital feel from this. So this is good. They're all great. I think, as you know, this is probably your first attempt at a monogram. So you'll see. I mean, I love designing monograms because I like playing with puzzles and things like that. So for me to be able to wordsmith or these letters together and forming these cool shapes and these kind of interwoven meanings and encoding meaning like you've done here, to me, it's fascinating. So I'm really, really, I would go with this. Okay. Now, a couple of reasons I would go with this. Number one is that it does kind of emulate that, encode that kind of secure feeling with these nested inside of each other. The other thing is it's going to be very, very versatile to work with. So for example, you have your monogram here, right? And then you could very easily, construct a word, your words. So you could have the monogram here, and then either below, above, or however you decide to work with the composition, include Guardian Network Security along with the monogram. Guardian Network Security with the monogram. So this is going to be super versatile to work with. I'm going to leave it up to you. I mean, I think this is your answer right here. I really do. Plus, you can do some really cool things with this. A couple of things you're going to want to think about moving into your digital representation of this mark is that, is it going to have a background? And if so, what is the shape of that background? I don't mind including a background, but I think that if you're going to include a background, work the monogram so that it has the strength to stand alone without the background. So for example, let me just jump over here really quick. And I want to show you something. Course home announcements. Let me see. Right here. You see these all have these backgrounds. Some are circle, some are square. What you want, it's okay to do that, but don't depend on it. In other words, design the monogram to have the strength to stand on its own, so you don't have to include this circular background. You can if you want, or I think the best thing to do would be able to remove it in situations, add it in other situations to give you that added versatility, creating more of a logo system than a specific word mark, monogram, or symbol. Okay, make sense? Awesome job. Thank you. Again, thank you so much. You're just doing fantastic in the job, and in the job. You're doing a fantastic job in the class. And please keep up the great work. Thank you.